You can't handle the truth.
I'm Jim Price, the Jim Price Show Daily Update. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Oh, the government told me what the date is. Don't argue with me. We're going to call it June 23rd. It's a Tuesday, 2026. Well, guys, thank you so much for being here. All right. Well, today's goings on, right? What are we going to battle up against today? Now, there have been a few things out there that were happening amongst ourselves and the world and all that good stuff. And I don't know. I think that some of the times that I look at what is being reported is it's something. Have you ever been a reporter? Have you ever had a deadline where you had to make an article and do something and write something every single day and be able to keep your job? Well, the sad part of it is we've got a lot of people out there who believe that they are absolutely reporters and they believe that what they write is the gospel. But a lot of times what I'm also going to tell you is that it is also mostly made up because they need to keep a job. I think this is a pattern I'm seeing within government. I'm seeing it within nursing. I'm seeing it within doctors. I'm seeing it in airlines. I'm seeing it in the trash man. I see it in the civic workers. I see it in policemen. I see it in the military. Too many people are not working and they're just trying to keep their job. They're making up work to do. And it sounds even like our legislators do the same thing. They make up a lot of work to do. They keep making laws. They keep doing things like, we got a War Powers Act we're going to do. We're going to do this whole War Powers Act where, we limit the government, right? We limit the president from going to war. Now, I'm going to go ahead and read this article, and I want you guys to actually see what's going on here. This is actually kind of disturbing in a lot of ways where we have the government shows up late after the government's always doing something, but then the government shows up to your house and expects you to explain and do all the things, but they don't have to. And the government is just doing something to do something. So here we go. The Senate on Tuesday approved a House-passed War Powers resolution to limit Trump's action in a 50-48 vote. Republican Rand Paul, Bill Cassidy, Susan Collins, and Lisa Murkowski. Two Republican senators, Mitch McConnell and David McCormick, missed the vote. McConnell's office on Monday said that the senator was in the hospital. So don't worry about that. McConnell, the war hero that we've all, he always wants to go to war. Well, he's in the hospital now. He's running for re-election too, by the way. The same guy who can't talk, the same guy who can't walk down the hall is running for re-election. Senator Democrat John Fetterman voted with the Republicans. Tuesday vote marks the first time the Senate has passed the War Powers resolution. Last month, the Senate advanced the resolution to limit Trump's power in Iran, making a breakthrough for Democrats after 7 failed attempts. So they got it through, finally. Yay! The House passed the War Powers resolution earlier this month in 2015 to 208. Now, the measure came straight to the Senate floor Tuesday for an up or down vote on final passage. It does not need Trump's signature because it is a concurrent resolution. Concurrent resolution? But it does not have the force of law, even though it's been approved by both chambers. It directs Trump under 1973 War Powers Act to remove U.S. troops from hostilities against Iran, except for elements of armed forces that would be necessary to protect U.S. assets or allies from imminent attack, which is basically exactly what we're doing over there. Now, that whole article kind of walked around a lot of things, but didn't give us a lot of information. But what I'm pointing out to you is it wasn't a law. It was again, posturing. Our government was telling another part of the government that, hey, we're going to write this strongly worded letter that we don't want you to do these things. Guys, can we get we issued 113 billion unique lottery tickets every year for decades now. We can't vote 120, we cannot count 150 million votes every 2 years. It's a matter of will. And this is part of that. The idea that they're willing to go there and they write up this bill and they put it through the committee. See, by the way, this all has to go through subcommittee. It has to get assigned first by the House Speaker or the Senate President. Then it gets assigned. Then the subcommittee has to then pick it up and then vote on it. And then the committee has to vote on it. And then that goes to the floor and then they vote on it. This is the problem with our government. It's just so stupid. We've actually bothered to waste time and energy to give somebody a participation ribbon on whether they limited Trump's power. The sad part of it is that you can limit Trump, but what are you going to do about the Pentagon? You didn't limit the Pentagon. You didn't limit the soldiers. You didn't limit any of that. You said that he can't send people into war. He's not. There's nobody shooting bullets out of rifles or throwing grenades or sharpshooting or any of that. What is this for? Here's where we're at. This is what we do. This is what our government does. And we're all supposed to be all so excited. I'm so excited. And I love it when my government does things with my money. Yay! It's so exciting. But what do I know? Oh, I got Charlie here. Good. Good to see you. Thank you for being here, Charlie. Charlie Francis, is that you? I didn't see, she didn't say her last name, so. Anyway, remember, guys, like, share, and comment as often as possible. That way we keep the lights on here. That's how we beat the algorithm. We have to be better than the demons, right? Now, I named today's episode Real because I want you guys to look around and pay attention to how a lot of this looks. Is this real? Like, we have a Senate and a House with hundreds and hundreds of people, adults who have children and grandchildren, who use their time while sitting in D.C. to do this. And then they tried 7 times to get it to pass. A strongly worded letter that says, we don't want you doing these things, Mr. President. What are we doing? Like, this is like, oh, I'm going to get a lawyer. We're going to sue you. The judge will stop you. Will it? Do you got the money? Now, here's an interesting article that's come across here, and then we'll just go from this. 8 of the 10 Antifa members convicted of terrorism charges for an attack on a Texas ICE detention center were sentenced to at least 50 years in prison on Tuesday. The Antifa ringleader, Benjamin Song, was sentenced to 100 years in prison. 8 people were found guilty of terrorism-related charges earlier this year for a 2025 attack on an ICE facility in Alvarado, Texas. Learned their punishment on Tuesday. One member of the group, identified as the group's leader, was sentenced to a century. The U.S. Attorney General for the Southern District of Texas said on Monday that sentencing for the defendants would happen Tuesday morning. The verdicts handed down in March came as the defendants stood accused in July 4th of 2025 are accused in the July 4th, 2025 plot targeting the Prairie Land ICE Detention Center following weeks of testimony from investigators, law enforcement, and cooperating witnesses. Benjamin Song was hit with the largest prison sentence. Marcella was sentenced to 70. Autumn Hill was sentenced to 50, along with Zachary Evett, Savannah Batten, Megan Morris, Elizabeth Soto. Daniel Sanchez Estrada was sentenced to 30 years. Prosecutors said that the group launched a premeditated attack on the detention center inspired by Antifa ideology by setting off fireworks, vandalizing property, shooting at police officers who responded. One officer was struck in the neck with a bullet and survived. We could have had murder charges on there, right? In March, a jury found 9 Antifa members guilty of terrorism charges and an attack on the ICE facility. Today's verdict shows the FBI remains committed to identifying, locating, and dismantling Antifa and the funding networks across the country, says FBI Director Kash Patel. Antifa is a domestic terrorist organization that has been allowed to flourish in Democrat-led cities, not under President Trump, said Attorney General Pamela Bondi. Today's verdict on terrorism charges will not be the last as the Trump administration systematically dismantles Antifa and finally halts their violence across American streets. Guys, I remember this was 10 years ago. And I even remember a couple of other like country or some other rappers and some other people making brother, sister, brother, Antifa here, and they were doing this weird little hand power thing and they were wearing these masks and shit. And I thought it was parody. I thought they were just, I thought they were goofing about, oh, we gotta, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. And I'm like, okay, and I thought it was funny. And like the dude was sitting there in like his sister's bedroom with all the pink stuff behind him. And maybe at that time it was a parody. Maybe it was at that time funny. But the sad part of it is these people took it serious and they were used. And I want everybody to listen for just a second that this is a real problem, that a lot of the people that we see that have the outlandish body modification stuff, the colors, all these things. I put out a video some time ago, and I will tell you that it seems to resonate more and more as I see life going by. As we're, I just wonder if we don't realize that we have, okay, let me do this here. Where is that at? It's this one here. I want you guys to listen to this.
So, hold on a second. If in reality, what we have all been saying, that since 2016, we knew that the fix was in and that there were outside forces that blocked the cheat from happening in 2016. And we are now finding out that there are certain agencies within our government that have aided in that, not only globally, but locally. So then we see that Trump even said, hey, we have to win so big that they can't cheat enough. And yet, we know that there were some three-letter agencies involved there, as well as Facebook and some others did some, bending of the knees, saying, "Oh, well, we were abused by that big bad government." But let me get to the punchline here. The entire movement of people who have pierced their bodies, colored their hair, maimed themselves, taken their babies from their bodies, done all these different kinds of things because they're winning and they're on the right side of history. If their entire movement is completely made up by the government and they fell for the biggest psyop of all, that they were being used as little puppets for the government's agenda when they thought they were beyond all that they were on the righteous side of life. So when you think about this whole thing, when the conservatives are saying we want to keep the country free, we were just staying on the right side of normal. We weren't going for the psyop. And a lot of us have gone against the government chemical, the vaccine, the Mexican beer flu, the coronavirus that was going to kill us all, but we had to have this mRNA thing that modifies our body. Think about those that went out and raced towards that and those that resisted that. You had 2 or 3 or hundreds of different types of internal government agencies, but then tens of thousands of outside NGOs that were being paid by those same agencies to then subvert the real will of the people for the freedom. And those that actually went for it were the blue-haired, ring-nosed Karen weirdos out there. I don't know how to edit that any different, but my problem is that I think about when you really get down to this, these people were being used, but they think that they're on the righteous or the right side of history when the whole time they were completely being used. So anyway, just something to think about. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
So I came up with that, and that was actually about a year ago, or maybe not quite that long, but it was last fall. And the reason that I wanted to play that is because it does. Charlie says that side keeps buffering. Well, yeah, they probably got me. I don't have any frame rate drops. I've got good 60 frames per second. So yes, Facebook is screwing with my signal. Sorry about that, guys, Charlie and Brenda, but that is how it works. So anyway, I brought that up because I do believe that this whole psyop of things is that the people who thought that they were on the side of the government and they were on the right side, the first thing I said was what was the wrong thing. They were on the side of the government. Now, as a defense contractor for 20 years or 18 years, I've seen a few things. I've done a lot of things. And as a disabled vet, I believe that our country does a lot of amazing things. Okay? I think that there's a lot of cool stuff that we have going on in our country. But I still have to say, listen, if the government's telling me to run out and get something that they want to give me for free, I'm going to ask them why. Why do you want me to have that for free? Why is it so important that we do that? Why are you trying to say it's a mandate? Why are you trying to mandate it, but it's not mandated? You're saying it, we have to do it, but we don't have to do it. We do it. If you do it, then you get to go to the movies. If you get the shot, you get to go to the concert. If you get the shot, you can go to work. If you get the shot, you can get on an airplane. I don't know where that actually, like, if I said, listen, you can't listen to my show until you get a shot. Now, I don't know who on earth thinks that that's a great idea, that Jim Price sits there and tells you guys that you got to get a shot to listen to his show. But why is it that we had artists and all these others that, are you playing on Sheriff Mac? Yeah. What do you mean? Where's this? Oh, crap. Don, oh, crap. Oh, Don, okay, hold on a second, sorry. This is what Zoom did to me again. Hey, sorry about that. It wasn't on my calendar on the Zoom on this side, so I'm bringing it up right now, and he can jump on right now. I apologize completely. Sorry. Thanks. Bye. Well, there you go, guys. You get to watch it happen in real time. We had a meeting today, and now I can't find it anywhere. Oh, crud. Wow. Huh. I can't even find it now. It's not even showing. Wow. This sucks so bad, guys. Oh, there it is. Jeez. All right. By the way, guys, I've got a really special guest coming on today. I hope you really enjoy who this is going to be, because even today, I even looked at my calendar to make sure that everything was fine, and it wasn't. So, okay. Have him come back in. Wow, this sucks. Well. Well, anyway, here's what's happened. So for some reason, when I put things into my phone, it is not syncing with my Zoom account. And what's happened is I went to go get in here today. I looked legitimately, because I said, I got a show tomorrow. I got someone coming on tomorrow. And I said, I got somebody coming on. And I was like, I thought I had him scheduled for today. And I looked all around, but I didn't look in the phone. And it doesn't come up for some reason in the calendar on this laptop. And so I didn't get it up there. So it just happened. So, oh, here we go. Alrighty then. We got to get this whole recovery thing going here. Bam. And, all right, Sheriff, when you get in here, you turn the camera on and we'll go for it. I apologize.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm on. Thanks.
Got to get your camera going. Boom. There he is. All right.
Yep, there we go.
Okay. For some reason, I am not getting. Oops. Roadcaster.
You were planning on me today, weren't you?
Yes, I was, absolutely, sir. I apologize. It was a me thing. I did not. I got that. I got your. So what happened was Zoom about a month or so ago did an update, and when they did the update, for some reason my calendar does not sync up with Zoom. Like when I put something on my phone, it's not syncing up the right way. So anyway, that's
Okay.
hey, no, you're fine.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Sheriff Mack, you're here with me now. Good to see you, sir. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. No, I absolutely had you in here. I just didn't have you in here. So, anyway, all right. So good to see you, sir. Sheriff, a lot of people know who you are already, but go ahead and introduce yourself, and we'll chop it up from there.
Well, I'm known as Sheriff Mack, but my name is Richard Ivan Mack, and I spent 20 years in law enforcement. I spent about 8 years as a school teacher, and I've spent about 40 years as an activist for the Constitution, and that every sheriff and every peace officer in this country, thus my organization, the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association, is all about the last line of defense. Our nation's police and sheriffs would actually defend us against tyranny, oppression, and abuse of government.
Right.
And which would mean they would be defending us against the IRS and any other bureaucratic nightmare from Washington, D.C. that violates our Constitution. And that our nation's sheriffs and police, especially our sheriffs, because they're the only elected and otherwise, in other words, appointed by the people.
Right.
They're appointed by us, and we are their boss. And so they've made the promise to each of us when they swear their oath that they will uphold, defend, protect, and preserve the United States Constitution, and thus protecting our God-given civil rights that we were born with. And that is what I preach. That is what I teach. That is what I've dedicated my life to. And now that life has taken me to writing a new book with a man by the name of Daniel Perkins. And I think it's the best damn book I've ever written and ever read. And this is the book of the year.
Ah, look at you. That's good. So, so you are your publisher as well?
Well,
you get to be your PR guy.
Well, we did self-publish this. He and I formed our own publishing company.
Wow.
Because one, we didn't want to wait for a publisher and we didn't want to be told what to do and how to market the book. And we didn't want to go through all that process because one, we didn't have time for it.
Right.
And two, we didn't have the patience for it. And so we just wanted to get it done. We got it done. We were about a month and a half late, later than what we wanted to be, because we really wanted to make sure this was ready for the 26 midterms.
Right.
And here we are, it's ready. Now, I don't know how many millions of people you have on your show, but every single one of them need to get this book.
Absolutely.
And I didn't even say the name of it yet.
Well, I believe in you.
Look at there. There it is, folks. The Democrat Murder of America. Demagoguery in the first degree. Maybe you can see the demagoguery in the first degree.
Yeah, absolutely. I got all that. That's good.
And so, folks, am I trying to blame everything on the Democrat Party? I'm trying to blame everything on them that they've done, yes. But have other people and other parties done some things? Of course.
Yes.
And am I just trying to shame and let everybody know how horrible the Democrat Party is? No, I'm trying to get everyone curious enough with this great title, this horrible cover with a jackass stabbing the Statue of Liberty in the back. In other words, stabbing America in the back. I'm trying to get everybody curious enough to say, I want to see what that book has. I want to see what's in that book. And we even especially want the Democrats to feel that way. Right. Why would anybody say the Democrat Party is murdering anyone, let alone our own country? Right. Well, they are. And we're calling them as we see them. But the most important thing is we provide a peaceful and effective solution. And we would like everybody to read that solution in the epilogue, the last chapter. And there's some other stuff here and there about becoming a citizen reporter and being more involved. Folks, we the people have to be involved. We have to be involved if we're going to be successful and keep this peaceful and effective. And I'm quoting Thomas Jefferson there,
Right.
not me.
Well, when you're talking about these things, and I would take it as a gentleman, I'm a grandfather. I know you're a grandfather as well.
Yeah.
But this sounds like, and I'm not, the word desperate when I say this is not, and you are in a desperation, but it is a desperate moment when you're seeing the patterns, you know what's happening, and no one seems to be calling that the bridge is out. Everybody keeps just running off the bridge into the water, and it seems like nobody's wanting to pay attention. It feels like in this, what you're saying is, guys, listen, it's easy to fix, so just pay attention. Is that where we're at? Like, listen to me. Just listen to me.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And we talk about Rosa Parks. We talk about Martin Luther King. We talk more about them than we do Donald Trump. This is not a hooray for Donald Trump book.
Right.
But there are a few things in here that people need to look at and say, why in the hell is the Democrat Party doing that to Donald Trump?
Right.
One of them is on the list of insanity by the Democrats. And that was a long chapter. We had to really cut that one back. The insanity by the Democrats, Democrat insanity, page 47, chapter 7. And we just started listing them. And I could, it was like it was going page after page after page. And we didn't even put in there some of the stuff. Like I had to add one at the very end. Arcadia, California, the mayor, Eileen Wang, W-A-N-G, an Asian from China, has just resigned her position as mayor due to a plea bargain arrangement she made with the federal prosecutors. Wang, a Democrat, now faces 10 years in prison for her involvement as an operative for the People's Republic of China. She was working for the Communist Party of China. She was just another Democrat participating in the movement to murder America.
Right. Well, it's just like the school teacher who was taking Tren de Agua gang members to a massacre. This is where we all keep thinking about like, oh, these things aren't happening. But the sad part of it is it's happening in a way that it seems like our guard is down. And then they're coming in, and this is where America is a little bit naive, aren't we? We're a little naive to let these people continually come in. But if you have school teachers who are driving gang members to a mass murder, I mean, what have we done, and why? What has education become but another job, another widget in the machine? If education doesn't have some type of morality where they're just trying to treat good and bad, but yet they're teaching politics, then you have a teacher who's literally doing something like this. We're losing our way faster than I almost know what we could do with it, right?
That's the understatement of the year, Jim, because we have lost our way. And the Democrats will tell you, we've got to find a way to fix America. It's broken, it's ruined. Trump is ruining it. The Republicans are ruining it. Wow, they're killing us. They're destroying our. Do you know what they're doing? Let me tell you exactly what the Democrat Party is doing. Okay? It's on page 102 and 103 of the book. And first, we want everyone to understand something very plainly here. But you've got to get this, folks. Socialism and communism were never American governmental prerogatives. Our system of government was designed specifically and intentionally to prevent socialism and communism. Look, okay, I'm quoting the book. Freedom and free markets are what made America the greatest nation in history. It was not socialism. Communism. It was not communism that built the American dream. It was freedom. Socialism and communism are the antithesis of the American dream. And so what do the Democrats do? They want more.
Right.
They want to double down, and they want to make sure they elect more communists to being mayors and governors and city council members and county commissioners, and there's several, in fact, numerous county attorneys and prosecutors and district attorneys who are communists. And there's more than what we know.
Right.
Some of them are trying to hide it.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. That is part of the murdering of America.
Yes.
And socialism and communism are not they're not a euphoria. They're not a utopia.
Mhm.
They're not everybody's equal and everybody owns you know what? I don't own very much.
Mhm.
But what I own is mine. And I don't owe it to my neighbors down the street, and I don't owe it to anyone else. And Jim, I'm sorry, I like you, but I don't owe it to you either.
What? All
And you
right.
don't owe it to me.
I
And
agree.
Elon Musk and any other rich person in this country or anywhere in the world, they don't owe you anything. And AOC, if you can prove that all the billionaires have stolen and cheated to get their billions, start with Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods and Beyonce and Taylor Swift. Start with them and then take them to court. Look, you're part of Congress. File a complaint against these people. Get the FBI to investigate them.
Right.
I'll help you with that.
Yeah.
Show me the evidence where they cheated, and I'll get the FBI on it.
Absolutely.
But you're a liar. You're just fabricating this stuff about whomever, so you can run for president later.
Yeah. Let me ask you a quick question. When we talk about, you talked about socialism, you talked about communism. I think of democracy as socialism light. It's just communism in disguise, because we're a constitutional representative republic. And when democracy is at being threatened, and this is what I love, I wish that people would cheer this more often. I'm Nancy Pelosi. We're losing democracy. Yeah! If Nancy Pelosi says we're losing
we have a chapter that has that title.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah. I think it's right back at the beginning. I want everybody to know that we did exactly what you're saying.
Right. Well, think about that. How many's like, but see, when they brought in AOC's New Green Deal in 2021 with that $7 trillion that they put into it, and then the next year they did a $3 and a $4 trillion for another COVID relief, 2 more COVID relief bills, which was the New Green Deal. That is the exact definition of communism, is to liquidate or destroy the money to a point where there is nothing but government left. And that is really kind of where we're going, is that we're losing that ability to have free markets. And we're kind of in a conundrum of ways. But I wish we would say republic more often and not use the word democracy or
democracy is nowhere mentioned in our foundational documents.
Right.
And you can find very little quotes from the founding fathers about democracy unless they're assailing and criticizing democracy.
Right.
And that's all here in the book. So chapter 3, save our democracy in quotes. And I'll read the first line. Actually, it should be save us from democracy. And you know the old line from Benjamin Franklin.
You can have it if you can keep it.
Well, the Republic. Yeah, when he's talking about the Republic.
Yeah, okay.
But he also said a democracy is 3 wolves and a lamb voting what's for dinner. And then what we have throughout the book, well, it looks like we're having lamb again. Like we're having lamb again because we keep pushing this democracy thing. Yeah. And democracy is simply defined by one word, mobocracy.
Right.
Whoever has the most people, whoever has the most votes in any legislative body or any place else, that becomes the rule of the rule of the land, the rule of law.
Right.
And the republic, especially as you said, constitutional republic, that protects the rights of the individual.
Right.
There could be just like Rosa Parks.
Yeah.
Rosa Parks, she was arrested for not giving her seat to a white man. That's in here.
Right.
Why would any deputy sheriff arrest a woman in December 1st, 1955 in Montgomery, Alabama for not giving her seat to a white man? Folks, we should have been way ahead of the curve. The police should be ahead of the curve and say, no, this is what should have happened to Rosa. A constitutional sheriff with his deputy didn't arrest her, shouldn't have arrested her, but should have escorted her home safely and then made sure that she and her family had extra patrol to make sure no hooded knights came and harassed them. Folks, do you know who created the KKK? Do you know who fought to keep slavery? Do you know who assassinated President Lincoln for freeing the slaves? That was all done by Democrats.
Right.
And then And then when did it switch? Because all the former slaves were Republicans and they voted Republican until the Democrats came and raided their homes and lynched them and beat them and told them this is how they were going to vote from now on, differently.
Yes.
And so where did that change? Where did it happen that the Democrats or the Republicans started voting for Democrats? And that was actually, you said the new Green Deal. Well, the original New Deal was FDR.
There you go.
In the 30s.
Yeah.
And he actually made the Great Depression worse,
Right.
not better. But even if, okay, let's give him. Okay,
so it sounds like every time the government says it's a deal, it's not a deal.
Oh, of course. It's tyranny. It's tyranny every time. So, but
we got a deal
this.
for you. No, you don't. You don't have a deal for me.
And on the next page where I was just reading about socialism, communism, on the very next page, and I think you're old enough to remember this guy, Nikita Khrushchev.
Yeah.
Of course. Now look, you and I were very young.
Oh yeah.
When he was and do you remember what his title was? He wasn't prime minister. He wasn't
supreme
president.
leader or something, or what was his?
You're close.
It's go ahead.
The general secretary leader of the Soviet Union Communist Party.
Oh yeah, the general secretary. Oh yeah, he's the general secretary leader. Again, it was all these pontificating titles. Yeah.
Correct.
Golly.
Correct.
Hey, you got to really believe in yourself, huh? To give all those names, like you got to be.
Yeah, exactly. And so this is what. But remember when he promised to bury America? I've got those quotes in here. Now, why would I be quoting a communist leader from Russia, from Soviet Union? I'll tell you why. You Americans are so gullible. This is from Nikita Khrushchev. You're so gullible. No, you won't accept communism outright, but we'll keep feeding you small doses of socialism until you finally wake up and you find yourself already in a communist country.
Well, what New York's doing right now with all these socialist candidates and all this stuff. And guys, I don't know. And this is not me being like, hey, I picked a side and I'm going to stick with it. Because I'm probably more libertarian, more, freedom of the mind, freedom of the body.
I am too.
But the idea that I don't understand when I say, listen, when you run out of other people's money, there's no going back. Like you keep saying you got to get more taxes, more money out of other people so you can pay for your stuff through the government. But there is a point when there is no more money and there's no other people and it's just you. I don't understand. It's like, I'm not saying, oh, I've got the rightest side ever. I'm the bestest. Ooh, look at me. What I'm saying is I don't want the government taking over my life and tell me what jumpsuit to wear today. That's called prison. Right. Isn't that what they do in prison? You get a jumpsuit or, little unitard thingy to wear? Yeah. Like unitard sounds like retard. Like, what are we doing?
It all is.
Yeah.
But then get this last edition from this last added comment from Nikita Khrushchev.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, history is on our side. We will bury you, and we will destroy you from within. Now, guess what, Jim? Mm-hmm. The Democrat Party is fulfilling all of those predictions and warnings for Nikita Khrushchev.
But Russia's not even trying to do that anymore. I mean, Russia has their agenda.
They don't need to. They got the Democrat Party doing it for them.
Right. We're doing things that are 30 years old that the people that were doing it are 30 years dead. Like they've been dead for 30 years, but the Democrats are still charging on. Whoa, onward! Like, what do you guys? Yeah. Like your leader.
And how many wars? How many wars did America fight to stop communism?
All of them. Every time.
5 of them at least, including the Cold War.
I know.
5 of the major wars: World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, and the Cold War.
And I don't even know if the Cold War was as much as what it was. I think it was more just ginned up between. I think the UN made it worse than what we really were with Russia. I mean, were we? The
UN makes everything worse.
Were we really that mad at Russia? Were we? Like,
well, they were certainly mad at us for a while.
I know, but you know what I mean. In the 80s and 90s, like when come on, we were not really like it was in the 60s and 70s. I mean. But anyway, it's amazing that we have people here in America. But this is the fallacy and the short-mindedness of the human being. It doesn't matter if you're American or Chinese or whatever. This short-sightedness, the lack of a memory, the lack of knowing the cyclical portion of history where we keep coming back to this. That's the part I don't understand. Like, I see it. but other people don't. The people that are
We
trying
don't
to tell
want
me,
to. We don't want to learn from history.
well,
We,
yeah.
but what did Ben Franklin say? Those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it,
Yeah.
and that's really where we're at.
Can I give you a conspiracy real quick about history? Can I give you?
Oh, heck yeah.
I'll give you
Yeah.
this. So we know Ghislaine Maxwell's father was the publisher of all the American education books for at least 50 years, and I believe, in my little weird mind, I have started thinking about what if when Mr. Ghislaine Maxwell's father was going out and they purposely wrote the history books so that we didn't want to learn it, and the only people who could really comprehend it and try to regurgitate were the kind of the socially awkward people. So when you think about the education, think about all your history teachers. These were not the socialites of the schoolroom, right? These were not the dynamos of the school. They were kind of the, okay, we're going to learn about the war. And like, golly, I hate this class. Like, what if in reality, so we wouldn't want to achieve that history? Because I've learned more history in the last 10 years than I learned in the first 45 years of my life. And I have purposely gone out to learn and learn and learn and more and get past the education, but find the real history. But what if in reality this whole Jeffy file thing actually goes clear back into the education system, which keeps us weak about our history so we don't ever fight against the tyranny that's coming our way?
Yeah. Well, good point. Yeah.
I don't know. He was writing the books. He was publishing them. He had full access to change them any way he wanted to.
Sure.
How do we know he didn't? You know, they were doing DNA splicing with Jeffy on Epstein Island. So, don't think that the dad wasn't trying to change a little bit in the thing to make it less interesting. I don't know. It's just a theory, right? It's just a hypothesis.
Well, and I talk a little bit about Epstein in the book, and
right.
But there's other murders. There's actually other murders that have been completely covered up, and the cover-ups have been completely botched.
Right.
First of all, Marilyn Monroe.
Oops.
She's having affairs with both JFK and RFK, and she ends up committing suicide. Now, she was taking sleeping pills, supposedly, and drinking alcohol. That can kill a person, no question. But if you look at the evidence, and there were pathologists and doctors and others who said, no, this isn't, something's wrong here. And then they just kind of closed them down.
Right.
But there's been books put out about that, and very credible. And I've read at least a couple of them. And then this is really going to get you. There was a lady by the name of Dorothy Kilgallen, and you probably remember her too.
Right.
She was a regular panelist on the TV game show called What's My Line?
Oh.
Before that, she did an international race around the world, and she got a lot of celebrity that way, and that's where that came from. But she was originally a reporter. When JFK was assassinated in 1963,
right,
she smelled a rat, and she started doing her own investigation. And guess what, Jim? She died the exact same way as Marilyn Monroe did.
The person she was investigating?
No, she wasn't investigating Marilyn Monroe.
Oh,
she was investigating the Warren Commission and the exact assassination and how Kennedy was killed. He investigated that.
So the same CIA killed her and killed Kennedy?
Coincidentally, she died the exact same way. But the police said Dorothy Kilgallen's wasn't a suicide and wasn't a murder. It was an accident. It was an accident. But guess what, Jim? All of her reports, all of her notes about the assassination and the murder of President Kennedy were all stolen and missing.
Missed.
Yeah. They probably had a little bonfire outside, and threw it all in there.
No, they know where. Yeah, this is again. But what about? Okay, let me ask this, Sheriff. Our CIA was fully involved in Kennedy. Our CIA was, our government agencies, I don't care which three-letter agency you want to throw in there, FBI, NSA, CIA, FBI, it doesn't get, whatever. We know these documents are real now. What are we doing? What are we doing? Are we not abolishing the FBI? We're making a bigger $1 billion FBI center down in Huntsville, Alabama. We're making more FBI. I don't understand. Like, we see the corruption within our own agencies. And we
Right.
see the touch between Pearl Harbor and Kennedy and 9/11. We see all these touches, right? Either omission, like, oh, oops, it happened, or they, okay, go ahead and do it. Like whether they purposely let it or they just let it happen. My problem is how do we get that back when we're talking about what you just said with Marilyn Monroe? These are agencies and these are government connected entities, either foreign or domestic, right?
Right.
How do we clean that up? I mean, we know these are real.
Exactly. And I'm going to tell you right now that the voting process is not enough.
No.
But we've got to start. First of all, we the people have got to wake up and we've got to be informed. We have to be part of this. We have to be what? The first three words of the Constitution, we the people. And this, we're not in charge of this government. In fact, Abraham Lincoln said that the American people are the masters of both the courts and the legislatures. Not to overthrow them, but to overthrow the corrupt people that are within them.
Right.
And so that's your question is a good one. And I believe that we have the answer in this book for every bit of it, because we actually give an example of what you're talking about. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Okay.
Yeah.
He was assassinated. I think it was April 14th, 1969. 1 year earlier to the day, he gave his best speech, and most people have never even heard of it. And we have a book, we have a chapter in the book that is so titled, and it's called The Greatest Purveyor of Violence in the World. Do you know who he said that about?
America.
The United States government. And he was in meetings with LBJ, Lyndon Baines Johnson, who took the place of JFK. What did Lyndon Baines Johnson do? The first thing when he got sworn into office, he switched the switch. JFK said, we're bringing everybody home from Vietnam. We're not going to get involved in Vietnam. And then LBJ fabricated some excuses about why we had to go back to Vietnam and get involved in Vietnam and send hundreds of thousands of young men and women over there. Hardly any women, but women were involved back then a little.
Right.
And he made this whole Vietnam thing up.
Right.
And when Martin Luther King said that about the federal government, LBJ took it personally.
Right.
And then he was really mad at him, but he still wanted to work with Martin Luther King because he knew he had too many black people and minorities behind him.
Right.
But this is another thing. Martin Luther King was assassinated 1 year to the day that he made that speech and made that accusation. That's very suspicious in and of itself.
Absolutely.
But the King family came out publicly and said who really did it. And they said the federal government and J. Edgar Hoover actually killed their father.
Yeah.
And Dexter King actually went into prison and interviewed James Earl Ray, who recanted way before that he ever killed Martin Luther King. And yet, you know what? The government would not give him a trial.
Right.
The suspect is begging for a trial. Mrs. King is going to court and begging for a trial. All the children are begging for trials. Everybody else is begging for a trial, but the government will not give James Earl Ray, who supposedly killed Martin Luther King, they wouldn't give him a trial.
Wow.
And to this day, the King family has accused the government.
Yeah.
But nobody did anything about it.
Well, and that's where I don't understand, like the quote unquote deniable plausibility, or these individual agencies, these individuals, everybody's individual. I just did this, I just did that. I don't know this, I don't know that. They don't know the big parts, and that's a sad part of it. Sheriff Mack, let's get you. I got to get you out of here. I got 2 minutes left before I got to go. I apologize for cutting you short. We got to get you back on here soon. I love talking.
That's all right.
to
We just want to make sure everybody knows where they can get this most amazing book, the book of the year, folks.
Get to us right now. What do you got?
Yeah, folks, it's real easy. The title is The Democrat Murder of America. Just cut that in half. Murderofamerica.com. Murderofamerica.com. Folks, get one for you and get one for your favorite Democrat. And we all have Democrats that are good people. We know they are. They've got to read this book. They've got to be humble enough to say, you know what? I want to read this thing. I want to know what this Mack and Perkins guys are saying about me and the Democrat Party.
Right.
Folks, get the book, share it with others. You can get an ebook, you can get a paperback book, or you can get an audio book.
Yeah.
Folks, it's time we join together and save our country.
Absolutely. Well, Sheriff Mack, it's always great having you on here. I feel like I could speak frankly with you and candidly about
sure
things.
can.
Well, we're hitting on the same thing, right? We're both talking the same stuff, freedoms and liberties and those things. So I appreciate you. It is murderofamerica.com. Go there, get Sheriff Mack's book, help him out with what he's doing. Thank you, sir, for what you got going on. And hey, let's get together soon here. Have your wife, I think it's your wife who talked to me, have her connect back to me. So I apologize for today.
No,
I gotta get this figured out with Zoom. Why it is that it's not in the right places. But anyway, I apologize. I do. I mean, I feel horrible about it. Sheriff Mack, one more time. Murderofamerica.com. Get the
all
book.
one word, murderofamerica.com, all one word, murderofamerica.com.
Absolutely.
And folks, we got to do this together. So I'm serious. This is one time we, the people, can really make a change.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, sir, and we'll get you back on here as soon as your wife gets back on me.
All right, I'll tell her.
Hey, I need a signed copy of that book. I want to read it, so get me one signed with your name in there. I like that. I got my other ones here too from you, so keep going. All right, buddy. All right. We'll talk soon.
You got it. Thanks, man. Thanks.
You bet. Bye. All right, what a great interview that was with Sheriff Mack, and I want to make sure that you guys understand that the world around us is a place of action. You have to be constantly paying attention. All these things from Marilyn Monroe through Kennedy, through all this other stuff, they're all very interrelated, and they all have a very specific pattern. Yet we all act like they're very unique, and they're not. The sad part of it is we don't always see it coming before the big tragedy hits us in the face. Charlie Kirk, Pearl Harbor, you just kind of go down through the whole thing. And the sad part of it is that this is our government that we pay, and they're doing these things honestly. I do believe a lot of them believe they're doing it because they believe they're benefiting us. The benefits. Oh, thank you. I want to benefit you so much. You're going to squeeze you and make you feel the sad part is we don't get to make those decisions because there are agencies and people out there that are spending money and time to keep us in a corral because they think we need corralling. I think we've all forgot the narrative of this story, what the whole thing was about. And liberty and freedom is it. Freedom of the mind, it's called liberty. The body moving in any way it wants to after the mind thinks it up, that's called freedom. Liberty, mind, freedom, body. All right, guys, it's going to be about it for me. Good seeing you guys. And, yes, we did have a lot of different things going on in the news today, and I appreciate being able to get a lot of them out before we got Sheriff Mack on. I do apologize for that little hiccup in there. I'm going to have to get this fixed. I have no idea why this keeps doing this to me. Anyway, guys, it's great seeing you. Any questions or comments, get a hold of me. Jim Price at thejimpriceshow.com is my email, or DM me on any major social media platform out there. Any other questions or comments, get them out there. Good to see you, Brenda. Good to see you, Terrence Williams. George was here as well. Got to talk to, Charlie was here. Who else? I had a bunch of others. We got jumped around. I guess Facebook was not wanting to play well with others today. And so thanks, Facebook. You're the best. I got my $10 out of you guys this month. Yay, Facebook. All right, remember the 10% we do for our neighbor, community, city, county, state, the federal government. The more you do for them, less that to do for you. Learn how to be selfless and not so damn selfish. The world will be a far, far better place. Remember, hold the line, hold fast. Do not give up, do not give in. We'll win. I promise can't keep, guys. You've always been the answer out there. Remember that Constitution that limits the government, that never limits you. Understand your power. Know what the constitutional representative republic really means, and then you will live a better life, and your government will be better for it. All right, guys, that's about it for me. I'm going to get out of here. I'm Jim Price, the Jim Price Show Daily Update. You guys all good. You guys all be good to each other out there, and I'll see you guys.